How does being envious destroy our relationships? What does it mean to be envious? When you are walking in envious, it completely distorts the love of Jesus Christ. It creates selfishness, it creates pridefulness, it creates a form of living that feels more superior than others. That you have to have more. That you have to have this from someone. Or, why does someone have this? Why are they getting more than me? Why is this person getting here when I have all of this? When I have received all this? Being envious can disrupt the chain link from us and Jesus Christ. But there's such a meaning to it. It allows Satan to destroy your relationships. The Christ-centered relationship that you've had with your friends, your family, or your loved one, if you even allow a bit of enviness in your life, it completely distorts the way of how we're supposed to live for Jesus Christ. Because for living for Jesus Christ is not being selfish. Because whatever someone receives is a blessing from God. To not live in our own self-satisfactory. Because God doesn't call us to live for ourselves, He calls us to serve. And so when you continuously be envious of someone, it becomes a form of self-serving. Becomes a form of not wanting to be accepting of what people receive in their lives. When you continuously get upset at God for people receiving the things that they receive, you start to lose sight of the things God has given to you. And when you lose sight of things God's given to you, that is how Satan is able to destroy the relationships that you have. Because it starts to produce a mindset that Satan will tell you, God loves them more. God sees them more valuable than you. God allows them to be more happy because He doesn't love you. You have to understand that we are born into an unfair world, but we shouldn't allow that to destroy our friendships, our family, our loved ones. Because God gives us each of these things to build us. God gives us each of these things to use to build His kingdom. And some people won't use it for that. That is why we must not be envious, because envy causes a mindset of always wanting more. And always seeing the bad side of things. Not to be optimistic and to see why God has given them these things. Enviness can create a pessimistic mind. It can result to you hating all the people that you centered yourself with Christ. You start to drag yourself away from what began your relationship to begin with. Love, bearing one another, forgiveness, kindness, giving. Instead, you start to look at it as, I want to take, I want to feel, I want to see, I want to have. And when you do this, your heart starts to become corrupt. You start to stone your heart towards your own numbness of wanting to receive the glory, the feelings, the love that someone else has. You'll start to go out to try to destroy. You might go out to try to find another loved one while you're still married to this person. Envy is a very dangerous tool that not a lot of us talk about, and not a lot of people explain how Satan uses this to destroy the chain links that we build with our fellow brother and sisters and our loved one. How do we stop this, Lucas? We must understand that yes, we are born into an unfair world. But also, we must understand that God gives these things to others to not use for their own selfish ways, but to build the kingdom of heaven. When you have that understanding in your mind, it always points to you not wanting to have more, but you wanting to serve God more. So then, when you serve God more, you will then understand why God may have not have given you those things. Instead, He will give you something that is more beneficial towards the kingdom of heaven. That's not to say that your friends aren't serving Jesus Christ. But God has a purpose and plan for all of us. Sometimes God gives us things to break us, to teach us, to allow us to learn what it means to have or to not have, to be patient, and what it means to feel impatient, what it means to feel loved or to be unloved. We have to remember that these things will come upon us. But if we even allow 1 ounce of envy to come upon our hearts, it completely misguides the path, the vision, and God's flowing water to refresh us, to realize that, hey, I see that blessing God's doing in his life. Or hey, I see why God may be leading him towards this life. God, I see why you're making her more happy. Or God, I may see why he's being led into this place. We can't be envious of each other. We must build one another. Building one another through the fruits of the Spirit. Not allowing envy to have strife for one another, but to work together, to unite together through Jesus Christ. So the question I want to ask you, with your loved one, are you building one another through the life of Jesus? Or are y'all always taking from one another? Whether that might be through feelings or objective things. Are y'all centering y'all's life on Jesus Christ and his morals, to where it won't lead y'all to be an enviness of what y'all have or the things you've done with your friends and your family? Are you jealous of what they have to the point where it's causing you to want to take, to destroy, to see that self-satisfaction and pleasurement of them failing? What is causing you to have this envy and strife on your brother, sister, and loved one? Ask yourself this question. And then once you ask yourself this question, what are the fruits of the Spirit? And once you know the fruits of the Spirit, pray on those fruits of the Spirit that God is leading you to better yourself in. So then you can disrupt the enviness chain.